You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, yes, you can. And I'll ask you, have you had enough SHTF yet? Well, if you haven't, don't worry, they're going to dish a whole lot more up to you. And even if you have had enough and you ask politely, you redress for grievance, you make demands, you scream, you yell, they're still going to tell you, no, you haven't had enough. But this is part of the process we're going through, folks. You cannot make a tyrant happy. You cannot satisfy them. They will not go away. I'll give you a quick example here. In France, they were told, get your Jim Jones juice and you can be free. Get your Jim Jones juice and all the mandates go away. Everyone will be fine and protected. Get the Jim Jones juice and it'll be France again. Macron will stop trying to piece you off. No, untrue. Tyrants always demand more, and Macron wants to continue pissing down the back of the French people and telling them it's raining, telling them he's just putting out a fire, right? The French are in a position now where they can choose freedom or they can accept tyranny forevermore. France just deactivated 4 million passports. You know, a cerveza bug passport, a thing you get on your phone that says you're a good little tyrant toy. You're a good little peon peasant. And you can go into a store now. Well, they've deactivated those because people who got 2 Jim Jones juice, well, you need to get the Jim Jones booster now. And since you haven't, you're now taken off the list of approved good little slaves. You cannot satisfy a tyrant, folks. And this is just over the Jim Jones juice. They can make up anything they want. How about you have to go once a week to a propaganda campaign where you sit and listen for 2 hours about how good Emmanuel Macron is, or how good Justin Trudeau is, or how good Olaf is, Scholz in Germany, or Joe Biden in America. You have to go listen for 2 hours every week to make sure your passport stays current and good. And if you don't, well, you're just a bad person. They won't arrest you. You just won't be allowed to do things in life. Well, you want to protest, do you? Had enough SHTF? Look what happened in Canada. They had enough. They stood firm. They're still standing firm, by the way, but they're being arrested and having their lives destroyed under emergency powers. 2 years of Canadian government telling people what to do, shutting things down and saying that's not anything to worry about. Completely normal. This is how we handle things in the world, I guess. 2 weeks of the people saying no more, and it's an emergency that requires the use of military force. You bet. Now, here in the United States of America, people are looking at France. They're looking at Canada and saying, wait a moment. We've had enough of this shit too. We've had enough. So we're going to do our own trucker convoy. And the truckers, folks, for their part, they said, hey, I don't think we like this anymore. We're going to be like a large snake. We're going to surround, constrict, and swallow Washington, D.C. with our convoy. Well, that put the, shall we say, National Guard and the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police on notice. Now they're trying to secure tow trucks ahead of time so they can remove any trucker convoy blockades. I didn't think that the trucker convoy said they're going to blockade anything, but I really find it fascinating that the civilian population has the means and the methods for blockading a government, a city, the tyrants. I find it absolutely fascinating that we have the power, and people are starting to realize it. They see it. They realize it. That, yeah, we are the power, and we can tell them no. We can say we've had enough, and we can make a change. Now, the government, on its part, is loaded with tyrants here in the United States of America. Washington, D.C., the mayor, they've already activated the National Guard troops. Nancy Pants Pelosi, I'm sure she'll be on her private Speaker of the House jet and be somewhere else in the country just in case something bad happens. I'm sure Joe Biden will be locked away in his basement down in Delaware. I'm sure Kamala Harris will be on her knees somewhere, making sure she's well cared for. They want tow trucks. They're bracing for the U.S. trucker convoy. What is going to happen in America? A lot of people are predicting nothing. Truckers will go there. Some will get arrested. They'll make life more difficult. On the one hand, they'll make a large political point on another, but nothing will change because that's how tyranny works. It's just how it's going to work. It's going to have to work this way. I mean, wouldn't we be surprised and shocked if the trucker convoy drove to Washington, D.C., Joe Biden came out, saw his shadow, and said, wow, I didn't know you guys felt this strongly. I think I'll reverse all of my decisions. I'm going to go talk to the Rooster Booster right now. And lo and behold, the Rooster Booster agrees. Hey, we didn't know that people felt this strongly because they drove some trucks here. Let's change everything around. I'm sure that's going to happen, right? Right? No, that's not how tyrants work. It's not going to change anything, if anything at all. It's going to piss them off more. How dare you peasants pretend to say you've had enough and you try doing something about it? Right? This is how bullies are. You stand up to the bully, right? Instead of cowering, you stand up to them and the bully's going to punch you. Now, I do not glamorize, glorify, recommend, incite insurrection, violence, harmful, dangerous, or anything bad, right? We follow the rules here. But I'm going to tell you this. The only time the bully stops is when violence is visited upon. Greater violence than what the bully is giving you. That's the only way to stop. You know, little turd, Justin Trudeau, he said he's not going to tolerate Russian authoritarianism, Russian aggression, right? What's Trudeau going to do to Russia? Well, he's going to put sanctions on them. I mean, what's Russia going to do? Stop buying maple syrup? Trudeau's going to withhold his maple syrup and the Russian people are going to revolt against Putin. We want our maple syrup. No. I love maple syrup, by the way, but no, it's not going to change anything. This is big talk from a little man, Trudeau. We have some serious issues to consider here in the United States of America. Tyrants don't quit. We have to go through this process, folks, step by step by step by step by step by step, until we get to the point where both sides have to use violence. Someone has to win, and then there will be peace. I went through the peace steps yesterday, the 10-step peace process of talking, complaining, hashing things out, making a case and argument. Ultimately, since tyrants don't back down, it comes to violence. That truly is where this is going. It has to. It always has. There are times, though, when empires grow and grow and grow to consume all resources, all available wealth, because the people have submitted or they've been defeated, one or the other. And still, in that case, those empires fail for one reason, because of corruption, greed, incompetence, and stupidity, and they collapse anyways. Take a look at the Persian Empire, Roman Empire. They fail. Take a look at Egypt, if you will, the dynasties there. They had the entire Middle Eastern world at their disposal. They failed. Our world right now, from sea to shining sea, around the equator, top, back, north, south, down, everywhere, they're already overrun, in debt, mismanaged, full of corruption, greed, and stupidity. So they think that by unifying the stupidity, it's going to fix problems. I don't think so, right? But that doesn't mean they won't keep trying. It doesn't mean they won't demand more. In fact, that's exactly what they will do. is they'll demand to the point of absurdity and atrocity. They've destroyed the US dollar. So they're printing trillions of dollars and saying it's modern monetary theory. Because it's modern and because we say so, there's no impact on the value of a dollar. We can print all we want. That is the belief system of monetary tyrants. And it's indicative of every single facet of government and how it thinks and operates. But that includes you. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you trained? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. Go to thepreparedmind.club. Get yourself prepared, folks, because you haven't had enough yet. They need to break you, us. So share this video. Share the video. They have to break us, folks, so they're not going to quit. We have to stop them and reassert our authority as the rightful heirs and owners of this country. Godspeed to you all. Semper Fi. Oh, and chance favors the prepared mind is yours.